Imagine waking up one morning to discover that all of Antarctica's ice has suddenly melted. The world would be thrown into chaos, oceans would rise, coastlines would vanish, and ecosystems would collapse. But what exactly would happen if the entire Antarctic ice sheet melted instantly? Today, we're going to explore the science behind this scenario, examine its global impacts, and discuss the catastrophic consequences that would unfold. Let's dive into the chilling consequences of a world without Antarctica's ice. Let's start with the most obvious impact: sea level rise. Antarctica's ice sheet contains around 60% of the planet's fresh water. If all of that ice melted in an instant, global sea levels would rise by about 60 meters, 200 feet. This would be a disaster for coastal cities and low-lying countries worldwide. Major cities like New York, London, Tokyo, Miami, and Shanghai would be submerged. Entire countries such as the Netherlands, the Maldives, and Bangladesh could disappear beneath the waves. This level of sea level rise would displace hundreds of millions of people, creating unprecedented refugee crises as people flee their submerged homes. The economic and social costs would be staggering, with the global economy facing a catastrophic disruption. Next, let's talk about climate chaos. Antarctica plays a crucial role in regulating the Earth's climate. The vast ice sheet helps maintain the planet's temperature by reflecting sunlight away from the surface in a process called the albedo effect. Without the ice, the Earth would absorb more heat, causing global temperatures to rise even faster. The loss of the ice would disrupt global ocean currents, particularly the Gulf Stream, which helps moderate temperatures in Europe. This could lead to drastic changes in weather patterns, colder winters in some areas, hotter summers in others, and potentially more extreme weather events like heat waves, storms, floods, and droughts. This disruption would not only affect the climate but also agriculture and ecosystems, as unpredictable weather becomes the new norm. Crop failures, water shortages, and extreme weather events would become more frequent, leading to food security concerns and economic instability. Antarctica is home to some of the most unique ecosystems on Earth. While not as biologically diverse as tropical regions, its wildlife, like penguins, seals, and krill, plays an important role in the global food chain. These species depend on ice for habitat and food. Without the ice, these species would face extinction. Penguins, for example, rely on ice shelves for breeding and protection from predators. The krill, a crucial food source for many marine species, would also be affected by changes in sea temperature and salinity. The loss of these key species would have a domino effect across ecosystems, impacting both marine and terrestrial life. The collapse of these ecosystems would disrupt global food webs, leading to declines in fish populations, the loss of biodiversity, and long-lasting ecological damage. The sudden disappearance of Antarctica's ice would also trigger intense geopolitical consequences. With millions of people displaced, countries around the world would need to figure out how to handle the mass migration of climate refugees. The most affected areas would likely be coastal cities and small island nations, but even inland regions would feel the effects of rising sea levels and extreme weather patterns. Governments would face unprecedented challenges. Resources like food, water, and habitable land would become scarce. Wars over resources could break out as countries scramble to manage the influx of displaced populations and the environmental degradation around them. Cities would have to be relocated, infrastructure rebuilt, and new systems for food and water distribution would be urgently needed. Social unrest and political instability could escalate, creating a dangerous situation for nations already struggling with inequality, poverty, and governance. But the consequences of melting Antarctica's ice wouldn't stop there. The loss of ice would accelerate the warming of the Earth in a dangerous feedback loop. As ice melts, it reduces the Earth's albedo, meaning the planet absorbs more solar radiation, heating up faster. This would cause further warming, melting even more ice, especially in the Arctic and glaciers around the world. Additionally, melting ice could release methane gas stored in the frozen ground of Antarctica. Methane is a potent greenhouse gas, and its release would further fuel the greenhouse effect, causing even faster global warming and intensifying climate change. With the melting of Antarctica's ice sheet, we would lose a significant portion of the Earth's freshwater reserves. This would lead to a global water crisis, affecting billions of people who rely on glaciers and ice sheets for freshwater. In areas that already face water scarcity, like parts of Africa and South Asia, the loss of ice could push these regions to the brink of famine and drought. Even in more developed countries, water supplies would be under immense pressure, leading to conflicts over access to fresh water, especially in arid regions. The economic consequences of a world without Antarctica's ice would be devastating. Coastal cities and ports, which are crucial hubs for global trade, would be rendered useless. The loss of infrastructure would result in massive financial losses and disrupt international trade. Moreover, agriculture would be deeply impacted by unpredictable weather patterns. Crops would fail in many parts of the world due to extreme heat, drought, or flooding, leading to food shortages and skyrocketing prices. This could trigger inflation, economic collapse, and widespread poverty, particularly in countries that rely on agriculture for their economy. In the long run, the Earth would look dramatically different. New coastlines would form as land that was previously underwater reemerges. Some regions might experience isostatic rebound, where land previously compressed by the weight of the ice sheet would slowly rise. This could create new landmasses and alter global geography in unpredictable ways. Over centuries or millennia, ecosystems might eventually adapt to the new conditions, but the planet would never be the same. The loss of Antarctica's ice would mark a turning point in Earth's history, reshaping life as we know it. The sudden melting of all of Antarctica's ice would be a disaster of apocalyptic proportions. From rising sea levels and climate chaos to the collapse of ecosystems and the displacement of millions of people, the consequences would be felt worldwide. While this scenario is unlikely to happen overnight, it serves as a stark reminder of the importance of preserving our planet's ice sheets. As climate change continues to accelerate, we must take action to mitigate its effects and protect our future. The fate of Antarctica's ice, and the future of humanity, depends on the choices we make today. Will we continue down the path of environmental destruction, or will we take the necessary steps to save our planet before it's too late? If you found this video fascinating, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos on climate change, science, and the future of our planet. And let us know in the comments, what other topics would you like us to explore? Stay informed, stay curious, and let's work together to protect the Earth for future generations.